Today we're making perhaps the most mouthwatering Cantonese dish of all.
滑雞煲仔飯
Clay pot rice, a classic one-pot dish that's actually much easier to make at home than you might think. There are many versions, but this one is a guaranteed winner, packed with chicken, Chinese sausage, shiitake mushrooms, and the signature crispy rice. My dad, a retired chef, will share all of his techniques, like how to properly use a clay pot and how to cook the juiciest meat. But first, he'll show us how to prepare the foundation of this dish, the rice.
開始洗一買先嚇。我今日咧就係用10個安士嘅米，洗米嘅時候咁攣佢。
We'll wash our rice 3 times, draining the water and using fresh water each time.
Is short grain rice or long grain rice better?
我不嬲用開都係用啲泰國米細粒嘅，長米長嘅米好啲，我覺得㗎咋。
如果係用蘇時嗰啲米得唔得就煮佢？
得，
都得嘅
軟啲啫嘛，你中意咪得咯。好啦，米啊洗咗，俾少少熱水咁浸一浸佢，啲滾水。佢咁樣煮咧，佢就會快啲。通常咧，人哋做職業嘅餐館咧，佢都買浸過嘅。
浸幾耐啊
10分鐘到啦，都係。用臘腸有2條，係淨係豬肉臘腸嚟嘅。好似有啲邋遢嘢啊，咁俾啲滾水浸一浸佢，喺出邊曬嘅，咁咪俾啲滾水浸一浸佢，咁咪好啲咯。等緊成條擺落個飯嗰度嘅。好啦，而家咧切雞肉喺呢度咧，中間做咗佢。
For the parts of the chicken with bones, we'll cut them into smaller pieces, each about 1 to 2 inches wide.
咁樣佢容易熟啲。
有骨唔緊要。
骨唔緊要啊，有啲人中意骨嘅喎，有骨好食啲喎仔，啲肉滑啲嘅喎。嗱，呢度咧提後啦，點咧？
We'll continue cutting into small pieces with a drumstick.
就咁切得佢。呢啲骨唔好硬嘅啫嘛。呢啲雞胸肉切嘅片片啦。
With the chicken breast, we'll cut it into thick slices about a ½ inch thick each.
我哋屋企人有中意食白肉嘅喎，咁咪一樣一啲咯。有啲胸肉、雞啲雞髀肉咁撈埋一下。嗱，呢啲雞肉咧切咗之後咧，用啲水過佢。斬嘅時候有啲碎骨喺度啊嘛，所以咧就要洗佢過水佢，一嚿嚿咁睇佢，冇如果有嗰啲骨碎咧，會擺晒喺下邊噶嘛，沉底咁啲骨碎。冇骨啲雞咪唔使。
We'll put the cut chicken into a strainer, piece by piece, making sure we've washed off any pieces of bone. Now that our chicken is cut, we'll move on to an important ingredient that adds a ton of umami flavor to the dish.
嗱，而家就切埋啲冬菇，一個安士咁上下噶啦，斬乾冬菇片一佢掟佢唔好要，咁大個啦，切3下啦。
We're using dried shiitake mushrooms here. To rehydrate them, just soak them in hot water for at least 10 minutes.
而家咧攣水佢，
點解要攣啊？
攣乾水佢，等佢入味啲啊嘛。擺埋喺度。
We'll set the mushrooms aside and prepare our aromatics for the chicken marinade.
紅葱頭我哋係切碎佢。
We'll cut the shallot very finely, first slicing it, then rotating to mince.
薑我就中意切碎佢，攞嚟撈嗰啲雞肉。有啲人咧就切片。
We'll slice the ginger the same way.
咁就夠啦。
Then cut it into strips, then rotating to mince. Now for our garnish, green onion.
切花，切粒粒。
We'll dice 2 pieces. No need to separate the whites from the greens here. Now back to the chicken that's been draining.
而家嚟要雞肉哦，嗰啲雞肉咧，俾啲廚房紙索一索水佢，乾啲叫佢會熟多啲味啊嘛，係嘛？
We'll combine our bone-in chicken with the chicken breast and set aside. Then we'll create our marinade with 1 tablespoon of light soy sauce, 2 tablespoons of oyster sauce, a ½ teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of sugar, 1 tablespoon of cornstarch, 3 tablespoons of water, 1 teaspoon of cooking wine, and a ¼ teaspoon of white pepper. Then we'll mix. We have all of these ingredients listed on our blog at madewithlau.com, along with step-by-step instructions and video clips to guide you as you make the recipe at home. Once the marinade is well mixed, we'll add the chicken.
將雞肉倒晒落嚟。
Then we'll stir the chicken into the marinade until every piece is evenly coated.
好啦，俾埋呢啲薑葱蒜落去。
Now we'll also add and mix in the shallots and ginger.
啲好多人就中意係食薑片咁嚟，我就中意切碎嗰啲薑，更加入味。雞肉就整好咗啦。
With the chicken prepared, we'll also be marinating our mushrooms.
冬菇俾少少蠔油上去，俾半個湯匙夠啦。
We'll follow the oyster sauce with 1 teaspoon of sugar and a ½ teaspoon of cornstarch. Then mix till the mushrooms are evenly coated. Now we can remove the Chinese sausage from the water it's been soaking in for 10 minutes.
臘腸咧就一間成條擺落嗰啲飯面蒸熟佢食嗰時咧切下，知道嘛？
And now we'll make the delicious sauce that complements the rice perfectly.
你教翻呢個汁咧，就一間煮熟飯面嘅時候撈上去嘅一個湯匙嘅蠔油，生抽咧就1個茶匙夠啦，糖咧就1個茶匙，老抽又係1個茶匙，基本上咧就搞掂啦。
Now we'll mix that together well. If you're not familiar, clay pot rice, or bo zai fan, is a popular Cantonese comfort food in southern China and Southeast Asia. It's a centuries-old dish that features the ancient cooking method of a clay pot over a flame. The clay pot is traditionally used because it retains heat evenly all around, which is perfect for slow cooking everything together, with the water that cooks the rice simultaneously steaming the ingredients above, while the juices of the ingredients soak into the rice below. Another highlight of this dish is that the rice develops a crust similar to Korean stone pot bibimbap, or Spanish paella, which is called fanju in Cantonese, or literally rice scorched. While the cooking method may take longer than your usual stir-fry dish, the tender ingredients with the flavorful rice paired with the perfect sauce makes it well worth the wait. So let's break out the clay pot.
材料整好晒啦，而家準備就煮飯呢個係瓦煲嚟嘅，煲嚟啱先買翻嚟嘅。煮嘅時候咧，就最好就用 gas 爐煮。如果電爐咧、電磁爐咧，你一定係要將個鑊底同嗰個爐要離開，佢直接同個鑊底嘅黐，佢會容易裂。就特別煮煲仔飯咧，你一定係要咁樣就好用啲。除非你用嗰啲鐵煲就冇所謂。
Before cooking with a brand new clay pot, my dad has a special process to essentially season it.
俾啲洗潔精洗乾淨。
First, we'll wash it normally with dish soap. You should only use dish soap with glazed pots and not on unglazed pots.
成個擺過嚟呢度，咁樣擺落去，入邊有水，屙裏有水，咁樣冚住佢焗個嘢，你1個鐘頭咁啊1個半個鐘頭得啦。
Then we'll completely submerge the pot and lid in piping hot water, cover it, and let it sit for at least 1 to 2 hours. But my dad soaks it overnight.
咁呢種我咪洗乾淨咪煲粥咯，煲白粥，
唔係個粥唔係當嚟食。
食得嘅啫。
Even noodle, just
Anything plain.
anything plain, yeah.
In the morning, we'll wash it again and cook plain congee or some other plain starchy dish, which you can eat.
Because when this part is
Yeah,
new, right?
yeah.
The surface is not smooth.
Yeah.
Have a little very tiny like a bump comes up, and then also have a little maybe empty space. Then that yolk, because it's so sticky, it's like a paste, get in the material. Just like almost like you seasoning the wok.
To reiterate what my mom said, the starchiness of the congee helps to seal the tiny pores in the clay pot, which helps create more of a non-stick surface and helps prevent the pot from cracking in the future. There are also lots of other ways to season and maintain a clay pot, especially across different cultures.
我而家俾啲米上去，
We'll add in our rice that we soaked in hot water for 10 minutes, then drained.
俾少少油上去撈下啲米，俾個茶匙，
啲油有咩作用？
將個鑊底同可以有啲油喺度，俾啲飯焦會容易香啲，同埋嗰啲飯咧容易鬆開啲。
We'll mix in the oil with the rice thoroughly.
Katie also had a question. Does the outside of the clay pot need to be dried before putting it over a fire?
係啊，
如果唔係乾咁會怕裂啊。
怕裂。佢濕佢哋突然間猛火燒佢，佢會怕佢熱。
Keep the pot condition. Good condition is to always dry the bottom before you cook. Cold will shrink, hard will expand.
我今日用滾水煮，將佢快啲熟。
We're adding 11 fluid ounces of piping hot water to the rice.
有啲人咧，佢又用啲鹽撈埋啲飯煮，我就唔需要啦，因為呢度夠味，你已經夠晒味。好啦，而家冚蓋，開火，呢啲鑊咧唔好直接開到好猛火，嗱，開到中火就好啦。
Christine and Alexander from Patreon asked, what are some alternatives if you don't have a clay pot?
普通嗰啲煲都得嘅，
都得。
呢雲嗰啲煲都得㗎。
呢啲煲出嚟咧係有 clay pot 嗰啲香味㗎，係唔同嗰啲煲㗎。
將啲油落啲雞喺度咯，一個湯匙，麻油一個茶匙。
We'll add oil and sesame oil into our marinated chicken and mix.
掀開蓋啦，而家等佢慢慢開始滾緊㗎啦。
We'll uncover the pot when the water is just about boiling.
等佢收乾，差唔多收乾咗水咧，就可以俾啲雞落去啦。因為滾緊啊。
As the water boils, we'll first make sure the rice is spread out evenly in the pot, then we're ready to add our ingredients.
先臘腸一邊一條，雞肉翻散佢。
點解你唔撈埋啲雞喺入邊煲啊？你淨係擺喺面上啊？
唔可以撈埋㗎。
撈埋就唔係佢就
唔係叫煲仔飯啊。
煲仔飯嘅特點就面啲餸擺喺面就上邊啲汁就流晒下邊啲飯嗰度，面上啲肉嫩滑嘅。如果你撈埋自己啲肉就唔得嫩滑啦。
After the chicken, we'll add the mushrooms.
俾埋啲冬菇上去。
Make sure to spread them around and not put them in a pile so they can cook evenly.
Emily from Patreon asked, what are the best toppings to use?
一係就雞，一係就排骨，通常都係嗰樣嘅啫。
都有好多煲仔飯㗎喎。
好多牛肉都得，海鮮都得。冚個蓋，
With all the ingredients in, we'll cover the pot.
開慢火，
Then turn the heat to low.
煮咗5分10分鐘，聽到佢粒粒聲響咧，就要擰啦。呢隻鑊嚟燒個邊啦。
呢個煲會 keep 住嘅熱嘅溫度啊。
係個厚啊嘛，俾嗰啲鐵㗎 keep 溫度 keep 得好啲嘅，佢唔冇啲鐵咁快脆散熱啊嘛。所以就餐館做呢啲煲仔菜咧，用嗰啲瓷嗰啲瓦煲，佢可以 keep 住啲溫度耐啲。
From Winnie, Clara, and Frank on Patreon.
Wow, thank you.
How do you choose a good clay pot?
喺呢度咧就真係好難有好多 choice。Online is a lot of choice。
You may be able to find one at a physical store, but this is the exact clay pot we bought from Amazon, which you can find in our description.
自己去揀人買嘅時候咧，敲下佢。都好㗎，個聲音就鏗鏗有好聲，裂咗就唔係咁聲㗎啦。
如果裂咗我都唔煮得啊。
裂咗唔煮得，漏水嘅唔煮得㗎。
煮得㗎啦，呢咗。
Is there a certain way you like wash it or take care of it?
只要你用乾淨嘅時候，抹洗乾淨，俾啲洗潔精洗乾淨晒佢，咁擺埋咪得咯。
Can you put this in the dishwasher?
洗碗機得，你洗碗機冇嘢撞佢啫，係嗰啲水沖嘅啫嘛。
You need to put the lid kind of open when you store in the closet like this.
Why?
Because let the air running inside. And then when you cook, then never cook very high temperature.
After 10 minutes of cooking on low, we'll turn the heat back up to medium, and my dad will show you exactly how he gets the perfectly crispy scorched rice.
好啦，而家我開始燒個邊嗱，開大火啲中嘅火，開中火，因為揸住呢度咧就會熱㗎，所以咧有塊布咁揸住佢。
You can also use oven mitts or pot holders here.
睇到啊，係咁樣做嘅。燒完一邊再一邊，你想個飯焦靚就係咁樣要咁做啦。用電得啊，你唔想要求個邊有飯焦就得啦。你聽到啦聲響啊？
We'll spend about 2 minutes heating this side of the pot. Make sure to move and tilt the pot so that it scorches the rice evenly.
我又燒呢邊咯喎，
Now we'll turn the pot around and repeat the process.
乾毛巾係好啲啊。
乾毛巾好啲㗎，乾毛巾佢哋唔怕辣手啦嘛，濕佢就啲熱會傳出嚟啦嘛，傳過嚟佢隻手度啊嘛，揸得耐咪唔得咯，係嘛？
To avoid burning your hand, always use a dry towel or mitt to hold the pot, but be very careful not to get too close to the open flame. After heating this side for 2 minutes, we'll move on to our next step.
好，我而家閂慢火啲佢，俾啲油落去先嚇。
We'll turn the heat to low and add oil around the edge of the lid.
一定唔掀過啊。
唔一定唔好掀蓋，只要佢熟為止。喺呢度倒油落去。
We'll carefully pour in 2 tablespoons of oil evenly around the whole edge of the pot without opening the lid.
咁啊，整完晒啦。有啲人又用豬油，但係我就唔用豬油啦，我就用呢啲油算啦。
We'll let it cook on low for 2 minutes, or until you hear the sizzling sound. I also wanted to make a special shout out to thank all of our wonderful Patreon supporters for helping bring this video to life. If you enjoy our videos and are interested in supporting us directly, head on over to patreon.com/madewithlau to learn more.
聽到聲嘛？嗱一聲響係咪？再另一次嚇，開大火啲啲。
Now we'll turn the heat back up to medium and repeat our rice scorching process.
How do you prevent the rice from burning or sticking to the pot?
你睇住冇咁猛火煮咯，聽到啦啦聲咁上下你咪得㗎啦。
你成日都唔睇到。
唔睇到入邊㗎，聽到㗎嘛，啦啦聲響㗎嘛。如果係個燶咗喺呢度，聞到有燶味㗎嘛。聽到響嘛？
We'll heat each side of the pot like before, 2 minutes on each side.
好啦，燒埋呢邊得啦。
What's the best way to reheat this?
凍咗都唔怕，慢慢嗰位整翻熱佢，就加翻啲油喺個邊喺個爐度，慢慢興翻個飯焦出嚟。
即係microwave都冚住個蓋啦，係咪？
Yeah，個蓋咪冚住咪得咯。
After 2 minutes on each side, my dad does an extra minute on each side to ensure the rice is extra crispy. And now we're ready to see the final product. We'll add the green onions for garnish.
食煲仔飯就食飯講個飯焦靚唔靚啫嘛，仔。
Oh my god, look at that.
Go.
Oh, the crumb, the crumb, the crumb.
That looks so good.
你可以攞啲 sauce。
Is it good?
Wow. I have to put some sauce on.
滑雞煲仔飯煮好咗啦，希望大家中意。紅堆吃飯咯
Cheers! Cheers! Cheers!
Yeah.
Did you do a puzzle? I like puzzles, huh? Yay!
YouTube thinks you'll like this recipe next. Let's see if they're right.